These creatures have returned from the skies after thousands of years to dish out the final punishment of humans. And this couple getting married must decide in their final hours whether or not they believe in God. Dan and Skylar have been in love with each other for many years, and it is their wedding day. Dan's friend Tommy is making a documentary of the wedding as a favor to Dan, and throughout the documentary, he gets many people to leave personalized messages for the happy couple. He records Dan's best friend Jack and Skylar's best friend Allison, who are dating one another. He also speaks to Dan in the bathroom, where it is revealed that in order to marry Skylar, Dan had to join a church because Skylar and her family are religious, even though he doesn't believe in God. The wedding goes according to plan, and the ceremony is beautiful. Jack gives the best man speech in which he talks about how important it is to act when one finds the person they love. And this upsets Allison because she and Jack have been dating for 7 years and he still hasn't acted by asking her to marry him. When it is time to throw the bouquet, Skylar specifically throws it to Allison, and Jack rolls his eyes at this, which thoroughly upsets Allison, and she leaves. Next, Tommy is in the elevator with Skylar's parents, recording their message for the happy couple, when suddenly an incredibly loud noise is heard in the distance, and the elevator becomes cold. Then, the faces of Skylar's parents become rather fixed, and they fall to the ground with their eyes turning white. Tommy yells out for help, but when the elevator doors open, he finds that the entire reception has erupted into chaos, as many other people have suddenly become lifeless in the very same manner. Stepping over all the dead bodies, Tommy finds Skylar, Jack, and Dan, and informs them that Skylar's parents are dead. Skylar is horrified. They hear some commotion outside, and when Jack and Tommy go out to investigate, they find that planes are randomly falling from the sky. Then, a powerful earthquake shakes the building, and they all start rushing toward the ground floor. Another really loud, unbearable noise is heard in the distance, and Tommy notices a massive lightning in the sky. Jack says that they have to find Allison, and Tommy says that she texted him half an hour ago that she's on 45th Street. As they head out, they begin speculating about what is causing all this. Dan, Tommy, and Jack all assume that there is a scientific explanation for what is happening, but Skylar declares that this is the rapture, the end of the world as predicted in the Bible. This is why all the good people, the believers, have been raptured and taken from this world, while the rest have been left behind to experience it. The others don't take her seriously, but she warns them that they have to find a safe place, because things are only going to get worse from here on. Next, as they are walking down the road, gigantic pieces of hail start falling from the sky, and they all rush to find shelter. They take shelter in a library, but suddenly the group notices that Skylar is missing. As they go around looking for her, they hear another piercing, loud noise in the distance, and Tommy runs into a girl named Sam. They find Skylar trying to look for a Bible so that she can prove to them that she is right. She reads a verse about massive pieces of hail falling from the sky at the end of times, after the trumpet is blown, insinuating that the loud noise they've been hearing is the trumpet. She starts panicking about why she hasn't been raptured, because she's always gone to church and done all the right things. The others still don't take her seriously and say that they have to continue to look for Allison. Tommy points out that there is a church nearby where Allison often goes when she is upset, and they should look for her there. Jack is upset that Tommy knows this about Allison even though he doesn't. They head out, and Sam joins them. On the way, they hear the trumpet once again, and then they start sensing something moving around them in the dark. Skylar desperately clutches her Bible and starts praying to God, and just then, something takes her out of Dan's grip. Dan starts freaking out, and as he looks around for Skylar, she is dropped a little way ahead by some invisible force. She is heavily injured with wounds on her back and stomach, as if something or someone has stabbed her. They rush toward the church, where they are led inside by Pastor Shea, who kindly finds a nurse to look after Skylar's wounds. Meanwhile, Jack and Tommy are reunited with Allison. After they get settled in, Tommy asks Pastor Shea if he knows what's happening outside, and he calmly replies that it's the rapture, but Tommy still doesn't believe it. He insinuates that it could be an alien invasion, and Shea laughs. Shea is informed that more survivors are coming to the church, and that one of them is a woman in labor. He and Tommy assist in the birthing procedure, but when the baby comes out, it doesn't cry because it is stillborn. As the mother holds the baby, it is revealed that the baby's eyes are white, like all those who were raptured after the first trumpet. As Shay goes to dig a grave for the baby, Tommy theorizes that Shay already knew the baby would be born dead. Shay replies that he did, because the baby is innocent. Tommy asks why God is killing all these people and babies, and Shay replies that he is not killing them. He is simply taking their souls and leaving their mortal bodies behind. As they dig the grave, Tommy asks why Pastor Shay was not raptured, and he replies that just having a church and a title is not enough to guarantee that one has faith. He thought it was, and he never bothered to build an actual relationship with God, and that is why he's still here. As Tommy and Jack discuss what their next move should be, a man is heard screaming for help outside as he first gets slammed on the roof of the church and then on the side, cracking a window. Realizing that he might not survive, Tommy records a message confessing his real feelings for Allison, which he's never told her about because she's always been with Jack. Sam helps him record the message and promises to show it to Allison if anything happens to him. A news report reveals that children and infants have fallen dead all over the world, along with some selected sections of the adult population, and scientists are referring to this as the instant death syndrome. Catchy. Sam and Tommy converse, and she reveals that her parents were raptured. Tommy comforts her. Meanwhile, Jack apologizes to Allison and admits that he should have asked her to marry him a long time ago. However, as he is about to propose, Tommy walks into the room to show them something. He reveals that his camera captured the entity that attacked Skylar. Shay arrives and explains that the entity is one of the fallen. It's mentioned in the Bible that these entities will arrive after the blowing of the fifth trumpet, and their purpose is to torment the humans that remain. For this purpose, they have been given scorpion-like stingers. Skylar's condition gets worse, and the nurse reveals that her wound has been infected and she needs antibiotics. She says that she has some in her car, which is parked a few blocks away, but it is too dangerous to go outside. Tommy and Dan ignore her warning and head out. As they arrive inside the car, one of the entities starts attacking them, and they only make it out alive because a homeless man distracts the entity, allowing them to make a run for it. Next, Tommy takes out the camera and says that perhaps they should record some confessions and get some weight off their chest in case they don't make it out of this alive. Jack refuses to make a confession because he says that he will beat whatever this is. However, Tommy confesses in front of everyone that he loves Allison, enraging Jack. Following his example, Dan confesses that he cheated on Skylar once. However, she is asleep and doesn't hear him. Next, the nurse checks Skylar's wounds and finds that the infection is still spreading. She informs Dan that the infection is acting like venom, hence antibiotics won't work. They need anti-venom medicines. Dan decides to go to the hospital across the freeway to find the medicines, but Tommy points out that they went out only a few blocks and barely made it back alive. Jack theorizes that the entities attacking them might be nocturnal, and hence, they should go to the hospital in the morning. Pastor Shay gathers all the survivors and gives a sermon. He claims that this is the first true sermon of his life. He has been pretending to be a believer all this time, but now he has found real faith, and he can help them all. There is still a chance for all of them. Just then, the entities outside start breaking into the church, and Shay tells all of them to head to the basement. The nurse is left behind, and they see her being taken by the entities. The door of the basement warps, and Pastor Shay tells everyone that they don't need to worry because the entities are here for him. He opens the door, and he is taken. As the sun rises, the group of friends decides to head toward the hospital. They find Shay's dead body on the way out. As they arrive at the hospital, they find that the pharmacy has been ransacked and there are no doctors present. Tommy and Jack explore the building, hoping to find something or someone that would help Skylar. Sam discusses with Allison that people see a bright light as they are dying, and that it is the brain's way of making the pain of death easier. Allison explains that some people believe that the light is proof of God's existence. Sam asks if she believes that, and she replies that she does. Just then, they start hearing strange noises all over the hospital. Skylar wakes up and reveals to Dan that she heard his confession. She forgives him. She says that where she grew up, people would judge anyone who didn't go to church, and that is why she went, but she never really believed. However, she does now. Then she says she sees something bright and beautiful in the distance, and she succumbs to her wounds and dies. Allison prays by her dead body, and Dan can't believe that she is praying to the same God that did this to Skylar. Enraged, he goes out and rants at God, declaring his hate for the Creator. Tommy and Jack watch as he is doing this, and just then, a tentacle-esque thing descends from the sky, impales Dan, and takes him away. Allison has Sam make a video in which she declares her faith in God and advises people to do the same before it is too late. As she does this, one of the entities appears behind her. Tommy and Jack arrive downstairs, and Tommy finds Sam's phone in which there is a video showing Allison being attacked and killed by the entity. Sam finds Tommy and cries as she hugs him. Jack finds Allison's body and is devastated. Tommy says they have to continue moving, but Jack isn't ready to let Allison go, so Tommy says that hell wait for his friend as long as he needs to. After walking for a long time, the three survivors arrive at a relief camp, where they see that a chapel is being set up by some of the survivors who were with them at church. Sam shows the two boys the video that Allison shot before dying, in which she explains that she was wrong to never take matters of faith seriously. However, now, she chooses God. Right after she says this, the entities arrive to attack her. After seeing this, Jack heads to the chapel. Meanwhile, Tommy deduces that the entities are attracted to faith. They came to attack Skylar as she began praying. They attacked Shay as he began the sermon, and they attacked Allison after she declared her faith in the video. He rushes to look for Jack and finds him being baptized. Right as he is done getting baptized, the entities attack him, and panic erupts at the camp. Amidst the chaos, Sam tells Tommy that they must make a choice of whether or not to have faith in God, as all their friends did, and she adds that she is going to choose God. Just then, another trumpet is blown, and thousands of entities start descending from the sky. Tommy looks up and sees something coming straight for him. The entity grabs Tommy and drags him to his death as his camera finally stops filming. The end. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like our channel and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Also, let us know what movie you would love us to recap for you.